Yes.
Trustee McGann.
Present.
Supervisor Moore. Here. Commissioner Friend.
Here.
Mr. Kennedy.
Here.
Would everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any changes to the agenda? No? Okay. We'll move on to audit and review of bills. Any questions on bills?
Any questions on those?
Do them all?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Yes.
You just have the town bills right now.
Yeah.
Well,
I, I'm gonna be sure which ones. Do we say we want to pay the bills and then accept or?
If you don't have any questions, you can make a motion.
We can just ask
You
questions?
should make your motion before you discuss.
I'll make a motion to accept the bills.
You got anything you don't want to pay?
Well, I'll do
Hold
that.
on.
Is there a second?
Okay.
Right. Discussion, all right.
For the,
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to discuss the town fund bills. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Discussion, please.
McHenry County Historical Society.
I don't know that you want to approve that bill. It came in the mail. I submitted it to the board because that's what I'm required to do. But to pay $1,000 to the Historical Society, I don't think is what we should probably do.
Well, I'm going to say no at this time because our finances are so bad, we'll get into that later, that we shouldn't be spending any extra money that we don't have.
When you do the motion, we'll put on there, make sure you exclude them.
All right.
When you amend your motion.
All right,
Anything else?
oh yeah, you're showing this Addison and Britt's bill, the lawyer bill for $760. And yet on our bill, you show it as $38,000. Is there?
760.
Yeah, 760, that's what it says.
Who is that?
That's,
Oh, the PO is showing $760. I see. And that's for this, and this. That's only the $760 for the 12th of December, that's why.
that, he's,
That's just the most recent.
That's just the most recent one.
oh, I see. And I'm saying no at this time, I mean, because they're not our township attorneys.
Okay, any other questions?
Pardon me?
Anything else?
Yep, I have the catch mark bill here for 30 months. So this is for December. You got different amounts, but, so you want to look at that one, Barb?
What is it?
It's the catch mark.
We never.
2
approved
months.
this contract.
Late charges.
So it's.
Right, but the next bill is their regular bill for 1,300.
Always what it's on.
I'm not sure, but I think that's
Why
You
keep something?
voted.
Never been a contractor, never approved a contract.
And then the BMO Harris, the charge card, we're not paying at this time. But some of the bills are missing according to your warrant list.
Such as?
All right, let me start off the right way. Oh, and you don't have the Evans and Peace bill. We were in court today and they told us we should pay this bill
The 75, well,
for
leave it on there.
$7,500.
Right.
They said to pay that, but you don't have it in our warrant, in our bills here.
Yes, it is.
I didn't
Page
find it.
2.
Oh, no, she's talking about the physical, is what she's talking about.
That's what you need?
She was just saying it wasn't in there.
And then the Grafton Township General Assistance for the annual meeting of the 46204. Here it is. Yeah, that one's okay, that's this auditor bill. This is the bill from the auditor from our.
This was approved a long time.
No, that's never been
The
approved.
first one was, this
That's
one
for
was
the
not.
audit
We now have approved
for 10/11, and it's in a draft form. Do you see it's draft up here? It's not a final. And I've been fighting this because we never got a final audit. I don't think we should be paying it, but our lawyer said we should pay it today.
Yes.
So we're gonna pay it. Keep going down the list. And then, Kuchovich Consulting, you will consider. And the Addison Brits, we won't consider, they're not our township attorneys. Printing and then some for $295.60. And then we have a bill on here for the United Post Office for $90. I figure you still got a lot of stamps left. $90 worth of stamps is 200 stamps. And we bought some a couple of months ago, and I think you still got a lot of those left, because we don't send out that many bills. That's my motion.
That was supposed to be questions. Are you making a
No,
motion?
those are the questions. What I did for you is I wrote down everything you just said.
No, let's
So
see.
now, you amend your motion.
So what are we gonna do about these bills here?
We're not paying,
Right.
These are not paid, and the Evans and Beans bill,
we have to pay.
I want to vote no on.
Okay.
So my vote is no on that one, and the rest is all no.
Well, we have-
It's done as a whole, but we were told today.
I don't care,
Court-wise.
because no.
that you have to pay it. Okay.
Yeah. We were
Patty,
told-
could you make your?
All right, I'll amend my
Okay.
motion. I'm going to say we'll, to approve paying the bills according to their warrant list, other than the Ketchmark bill, the BMO Harris bill, the Historical Society, the Grafton Township that was part of the annual meeting, the Kukovich bill, the Addison Brits bill, printing and then some, and then the postage. Is that all like that?
Yes, all the months
I
you
make
said.
that motion.
So all the usual no's except Evans, Marshall, and Pease?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
I'll have to vote everything no, because partial fees, he's added to it. But you want to treat it separately. I vote for your package, but the trouble is it includes the Marshall fees. So if you want to pull that Marshall fees and vote it separately,
you make
All right.
I'll deal with it separately.
When he
I'll
makes
pull
an
the,
amendment.
Are you amending your motion?
I'll amend the motion. I'm proving to pay the bills, except for the bills for
Except for Marshall and fees, and we'll vote on Marshall fees.
Evans, Marshall, and Peace, and then, do you want this, rest of this list of Ketchmark, BMO Harris?
I have a thing.
Okay. And that's my motion.
Okay, for clarification purposes, are you including the $300,000?
Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
I'm voting no on that too.
Did we approve this last month?
I'm voting no on that. That's for a vote.
So
That's later in
it
the
is not,
thing.
it's not a no, it's an okay, right?
Right, it's in your warrant list. I didn't
Just need to
remove that.
clarify, that's all. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zerk,
Yes.
Trustee Murphy,
Yes.
Supervisor Moore,
No,
Trustee McNeil.
Yes.
motion carries. Now, were you going to make another?
Now I want to make a motion that we pay the Evans in peace bill, only because today we were in court and the judge said we should pay for this.
Yes, exactly.
And
We
I
have a
make that motion.
To pay Evans Marshall Hughes.
Second.
Second. Okay, any discussion? No? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zip,
Yes.
trustee Murphy,
Yep.
supervisor Moore,
Yes.
trustee McMahon.
No.
3-1, motion carries. Is that it for town fund bills?
I do have a little something that I wanted to give you on this packet. And I already gave you one.
Yeah.
I just need you to correct this for the next meeting. It has to do with the reconciliation from December. Just found this out when I was going over stuff. You've got the beginning balance as $635,030.67, which was the beginning balance on November 30th, which is the first page. And then if you go to the second page, which is supposed to be for 12/31/12, you used the November 30th in the same beginning balance. That's incorrect.
So you need the current one instead of.
Well, it's incorrect. You need to use the correct beginning balance and correct that one, and then also correct
The current one.
this current one.
Well, I don't think that it's incorrect, I think we just gave you the wrong month.
No, because, if you would, because down here, all the rest of these say 12/31. The township one says 11/30.
Okay, we'll check into
And
it.
the figures are different than your one from November 30th.
Okay.
Okay, so if you would check into that for the next meeting.
Now you want to vote?
So Barb, November 30th is incorrect, and also this month's.
November 30th is correct. December 31st is incorrect. And then this month would be incorrect. Jack's best.
Any questions on the road bill?
Sorry, getting them all together.
Well, I'll make a motion to pay the road commissioner bills, or discuss the road commissioner bills, I'm sorry.
Second.
Okay, discussion?
Hold on a minute.
That's part of Jack's too.
While we're waiting, if anyone is interested in public comments, there's a sign-in sheet over there. You would need to sign in if you plan to make a comment tonight.
No questions on the road
I gotta
bills?
look at Jack's bills here.
I don't want to miss them all.
Otherwise, I got, you want me to sell the ones that I want to pay? On her list?
You have one that you don't want paid?
Yes, he
On
does.
her list.
Go ahead.
State it to the clerk.
Okay, Grafton Township Fund, it's on the first page. Do not pay, the minute. So Grafton Township Fund, there's two of them there. Both of them together, 244,
But
8,
Jack,
and one of them is
Jack,
the county.
the audit is being paid by the county. So do you want to okay the 2,000?
Yeah, but I want to paid directly from my account to the accounting firm instead of to you. It shouldn't go to you, because they're actually taking money out of your budget
Yeah, that's
that you can't use it in.
a good point. So we need to reduce the amount we're paying out of the town fund by that. We'll have to do another motion. Reduce the amount we're paying the town fund for Evans Marshall fees by this 2,000.
Correct.
And pay that out of the road district. So we'll do that when we make our motions here, but let's listen to Jeff.
Okay.
All right, how about the 440?
Yeah, don't pay that.
Don't pay the
No,
448?
that's part of what we've been going on forever, with
The
the
448,
stamps and
about the 2,000, that's part of the Grafton Township, I think.
We're making your list.
and then we got, Jim Ketchmark bill for $535. Then the ones to pay, that won't pay last month is the Nextel bill, but the whole thing should be paid $171.98 now.
And she has that on the warrant list.
And then the bank,
Is,
no, that's the pay account.
is Attorney Combs' bill on there?
Yes.
It's full,
Not in the hole.
because from last month, we approved 200 and then 1845.
He is paid up to date.
And our,
Just got paid.
okay, I just wanted to make sure they were, okay, they were on there, okay. So basically, you just have the two right there.
The Bank of New York Mellon, instead of 270, it's 250, right?
Well, that's good news.
Because we've been paying it off.
So change that amount to 250?
Well, we're not,
250 plus the interest.
whatever the interest is and whatever they want to finish the deal when we get it.
So, but for now, we should put it 250 on the list?
Yeah.
With that 20,000.
Okay. We'll make that change.
Oh, no, this is all yours, honey.
All right, I
And
make
then
a
we
motion.
got over that other pay, that Grafton Township, the debit card,
The debit transactions on the other list.
you got it? You got this debit
This-
card,
this
debit
thing.
transactions?
Yeah,
We got the QuickBooks payroll services fee, you're not paid.
Are you referring to your list yourself?
no, the
No, it's the
short
one
one.
she sent.
It's right after.
It's
the,
because they're already,
those details.
Betty, it looks like this.
these are not approved.
Oh, I see what you're doing, okay. All right, sorry.
You got your list?
Yep,
We got the QuickBooks payroll services.
So add that to this.
and-
So you want that big one?
No.
You do not.
Well, I mean, it's paid already. It's- Then we got the
which
QuickBooks,
one are you saying, Jack?
He's talking about this.
The QuickBooks?
and QuickBooks payroll service fee, QuickBooks payroll service fee, that's W-2s. I mean, they're already paid, so they will be approved, then they shouldn't be. It's kind of like going backwards. And make sure you, okay, the Costco ones, get them paid.
No. Is this when we talk about this other list of bills that we haven't paid, but, Judy, or is that going to take a while?
Are you finished, Jeff?
I'm finished.
Okay, is
Do
there a
you
motion?
have that, Harriet, do you have the synopsis of what he's talking about?
Yes.
This is,
These are his bills,
I know, that'll come later.
right?
And that,
This will come later, right?
this is still the insurance thing with Jack.
That's in
That's in mediation, okay, so don't worry about that one right now.
All right,
Okay?
all right. So I'm going to amend my motion. I'm going to say I approve the bills for the road district, except for the bills, the one for Grafton Township for $448, and Ketchmark for $535. And the bank, instead of paying $270, we're only going to pay $250. And then remove the QuickBooks that's on the back side of our paper here.
Unless he said about 200 and change. $250.
Right, she said that.
I didn't hear that come out of that.
Sure she did.
Did it?
Yeah,
Did you say? Okay.
I second that.
Can we do the QuickBooks thing separately and everything else together? Can we make that two separate motions?
Sure, I'll amend my motion.
Well, actually, you know what, never
That's
mind. Never mind, because I think we should pay Catchmark, so I'll have to vote no. Go ahead.
Leave it go? All
Let
right,
it go.
okay, that's my motion.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to pay all the road district bills with the exclusions Betty noted of the $448.80 and the $535, and change the amount for the Bank of New York Mellon from $270,000 to $250,000. And they're not approving the QuickBooks payroll service fee for preparing W-2s. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zerk?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy?
Yeah.
Trustee McMahon?
Yes.
Supervisor Moore?
No, 3 to 1, motion carries. Okay, anything else on the bills? Okay, any motion to approve the minutes from January?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Just a comment on that. I gave you a sheet that summarized the checks from neighborhood 12, because I did not want that given out to the public. Anyone wants a copy, do you want a copy of each of the checks? I have copies for all of you.
Oh, okay.
Did you receive my email? You did not receive my email from the surgeon. I sent it to you yesterday. Okay, there's 4 here and there's 5 of us.
I'll share, don't worry about
I
it.
guess Rob's not here. so-
Yeah. These are the donations that were made incorrectly. These are the copies of the.
I didn't put that into the packets because I didn't want to give it to the public because it's.
Exactly, it's
information
private
that just
information.
makes sense.
Right.
Is this everything we received from Mr. Levanti?
Yes.
Okay, so right now we're just talking about approving the minutes.
And I made the motion to approve.
And a second to
Betty
approve them.
seconded.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Zerk?
Yes.
Supervisor Moore?
So what are we voting on?
Minutes.
To approve the
Just
minutes.
minutes, okay, yes.
Supervisor Moore?
No, 3 to 1, motion carries.
Do you call Trustee McMahon for a roll call?
He said it, though.
Practically moved around in 10 years.
I didn't read them. That's why I wanted to make sure. I didn't read them. That's
You
just,
voted yes, right?
doesn't matter, I just wanted to make sure you did.
Yes, you did. Yes,
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Smart,
All right,
over.
Mr.
Tell them to do
Gerald
something.
Levante.
Yeah, sorry.
My name is Gerald Labonte, and I'm appearing again tonight as the elected, not the self-appointed, representative of Neighborhood 12, in hopes that the petition I presented on behalf of my neighborhood at your January 10th meeting will have a final resolution tonight. Before I begin, I want to provide the clerk of the board with some additional material. First is documentation that raises the amount we requested at the January meeting from $615 to $640. That's the final offer. Second, I'm offering 9 notes from Neighborhood 12 donors authorizing me to appear on their behalf. This is in addition to their canceled checks or letters of receipt that were already given to the board at the January meeting. 4 of the other 14 donors participating in the petition are present at tonight's meeting, and they're in the back. Why don't you stand up, just to let them know that you're here. And one who is supposed to be here tonight is out sick, so he won't be here. Next is a copy of a 2-page letter that I received from the supervisor's lawyer questioning my standing in this matter as well as my motives. The fourth is a copy of the letter I sent to the lawyer answering his interrogation. The fifth is a copy of the press release from the supervisor dated January 14th, 2013, 4 days after your meeting. In these prepared remarks, I will try to be brief in my response to the concerns of the supervisor and her lawyer. Time is a factor, but I will be available to answer any questions that may remain after I finish. First, what do I mean by elected representative? The 5,000 plus homes in Sun City are divided into over 40 neighborhoods, each with 3 representatives elected in a formal electoral process as laid out in the community rules and regulations. Those elected serve on the Neighborhood Advisory Council for all of Sun City. In effect, they are the liaisons between the various neighborhoods and the Sun City Board of Directors. I have been one of those elected representatives for Neighborhood 12 for 3 years, and the chairperson for these representatives for the last year. It is in that capacity that I presented our neighborhood's petition in January, even though I had no personal claim to make. Second, a few comments about the timing of our request. If the situation had developed a year ago, we would have presented our petition a year ago, but it didn't. The public petition in January may have been a surprise to the supervisor, but the requests beginning on November 5th by several separate individuals for the return of their donations had already been rejected one by one. By the way, the last of these individual requests was denied early in January, only a few days before the last month's meeting. My neighborhood does not regard our petition as political. It began as a simple, timely request to return money that was given by mistake. In all fairness, this is not a political issue, it is an ethical issue. Now, I know the supervisor on January 14th indicated that our donations would be returned, but only if the individual documentation already submitted to the board in January would be resubmitted by each individual separately. Then, in the words of her lawyer, quote, in the words of her lawyer, the documentation would be, quote, investigated by government personnel to determine whether there is good reason to allow the claim, unquote, and whether, quote, the claim is legitimate, unquote. The supervisor's lawyer adds, quote, I would recommend that my client follow this procedure, unquote. Besides a perceived attempt at intimidation or an attempt to create unnecessary obstacles, what could possibly need an investigation when it is checks endorsed by the township itself and letters signed by the supervisor herself that have already been presented to the board as proof of payment? We tried that private individual route for 2 months with no success. Our last recourse is this public group petition from all 14 petitioners. On a personal note, I have only a casual acquaintance with township politics. I have never participated in local affairs. Before November, I didn't even know the names of the trustees. It is true that I didn't vote for Linda Moore in the last township election. It is also true that I didn't vote for anyone in that election. In addition, I am not on the Grafton Food Pantry Board, nor have I ever volunteered for them. Before November, the only person connected with the Grafton Food Pantry that I ever dealt with was its manager, and then only when I dropped off donations from Neighborhood 12 or personal donations. Finally, what exactly are we asking in this petition? We are requesting that each of the 14 residents of Neighborhood 12 who have provided the board with all relevant documentation of their donations have their money returned to them. They then will be able to donate the money to their charity of choice, the Grafton Food Pantry, the recipient listed on every one of their original checks.